Hi everyone, welcome to another art journal tutorial on my YouTube channel. So today is my second page in the art journal, and this is more of a beginner friendly page that you can start with almost the basic supplies. So here I'm showing you some of the mixed media stamps that I own. All of them are by Craftangles. Again, all of them will be linked below for you all in case you are interested. As with all my videos, all the products that I talk about and use are always linked in the description of my video below. So what I do is, normally this is another hack that I use with most of my art journal pages, is that normally I don't like to do like a very first generation kind of a stamping on my immediate page. So what I do is I ink up my complete stamp. However, I stamp it unevenly, meaning while stamping I don't put a lot of pressure. I only put slight pressure in some of the areas. So what that does is it gives me a very organic stamping, which is very similar to like an old torn page kind of a look that would come on an art journal. And that adds all the more interest on your page. And in such cases, since half of the ink will remain on my stamp, what I like to do is I like to stamp it on two pages, and then the second page I can use later on. So now I already have a design ready to start off my art journal page. Now here, as a background for my art journal, what I have decided is to use some chalk paints. Now these are acrylic paints and they are very similar to acrylic gouache. So these are opaque in nature and they dry matte and they dry permanent. Okay, so I have taken three colors. One is blue color, one is mint color, and one is gray color. Again, all the details will be in the description. And what I do is I start off by applying it through a brayer. And I have started with the blue color, then I'll move on to gray and then green. I'm putting a lot of blue because that is going to be the base of my page. Again, while applying it through a brayer, you can see that it kind of applies it in an abstract way and not a very flat way. When you use it or apply through a brush, it is like you will completely coat the paper, which we don't want. We want it to be more like a thin layer where some of the white remains through. So that is the whole point of art journaling. You play around with colors and textures. So in some areas you'll see green, in some areas you'll see blue, and in some areas you'll see mint in my paper. And each and every layer will come through in one or the other area, and even the base white layer will also show through. So that is the beauty, and that is why you never ever, normally in most of the cases, you never completely cover your art journal page, because it gives you that incomplete look, which is very it creates that vintagey look by default. Now again, here I am using the same trick as I did with my stamping, that whatever is the leftover paint, I am applying it on my next page. So nothing goes to waste, and that paint will dry on my second page and it will kind of create a base layer for me, which I'll use in my next art journal page. Now mint was the color that I added the least because it stays on the top, and blue was the color that I added the most because I knew that it was anyways going to be covered. Now I felt that the colors were a bit vibrant for the look that I was going on. So what I did was I added a layer of gesso on top of it just to tone down the colors a bit. Now I have not completely covered it, but I have covered the areas where I felt the coloring was too strong. Then I went about stamping my paper, just randomly adding it to here and there where I planned to put my layout, which was in more of a triangular shape. Now here again, on my first page, I did not want to do a lot of first generation stamping. That is why I'm doing it in my other pages. And then I'm doing the second generation stamping on my first page. So that way, nothing again goes to waste. Now here I'm showing you some of the mixed media stencils by Craftangles. These are newly launched and you'll see me using them throughout this complete art journal because they are extremely fun and easy to use, and at one time you get a lot of designs. So you are getting more bang for your buck whenever you buy these kind of stencils. So now what I have decided is I want to pass my texture paste through my stencils. However, the texture paste which I was planning to use, which is Unicorn Dreams, again a newly launched shimmer paste by Craftangles. It is a very shimmery and bright paste. However, I wanted my page to be a bit muted. So what I did was I combined that paste with some white paste. So what that inherently did was it kind of toned down the color of the paste, and that is why when once it is dry, you'll see that it has less amount of shimmer as compared to how much shimmer I'll get if I directly use the paste. So that is why, I've kind of combined the white and the Unicorn Dream paste and applied it through the stencil. So once I have applied it through the stencil, I move on to creating the layout. Now for the layout, as I said, I was going for that triangular kind of a shape. Now this is the most common shape that you will find in art journal, that you have like a horizontal line and two vertical lines going above. What this does is it kind of creates a visual triangle on your pages. Okay, and you can also do corners. So once you start playing around with layouts, you'll understand what I'm saying. Now the first layer of paint that I have added is this is liquid acrylics by Craftangles, and they are extremely transparent. However, they are acrylics, so once they are dry, they are completely waterproof. So they give you that watercolor effect. However, they are waterproof once they are dry. So it kind of really helps in art journaling, because in art journaling you do a lot of layering. So I have added green liquid acrylics. Then I moved on to the same blue chalk paint color, and I let that dry as well. And then, I still felt that there was not enough grunge or dark color on the top of my page, and it was very colorful. So again, to tone the same down, I have applied liquid acrylics in black. Now, why did I not apply chalk paint and applied liquid acrylics was because I wanted to create that transparent layers. So what we are doing is we are adding one color upon another color and third color. Now, since the two colors which are liquid acrylics, which was green and black, they are transparent in nature, what it does is it kind of creates that layered look. So if you see the snapshots of the art journal later on, you will be able to see each and every color through the layers. And that is the beauty of art journaling. You don't have to create like add molds and bulky items, because this is a diary. You have to create more of a flat look, but at the same time you can play around with paints, play around with stencils, and create that layered look without adding bulk. So here I was playing around with the layout. I have used that vintage photo character from Prima. Again, you are free to use an old photo of your family. Since I plan to do a lot of pages, I have kind of invested in these stickers and characters. However, you could definitely use a magazine photo or your family's photo, whatever you're comfortable with. And then another such cool item to add flat layout, however still add a layer, is using threads and ribbons. So on a lot of my pages, you will see that I have used these kind of laces, and then I have torn paper and used that, because even though they lie flat, you can play around with colors and textures, and you can add these. You can also use those medical tapes and gauges that you get normally in your medical shops, and use that as well, because they also lay flat. You can add washi tapes. You can probably play around with a lot of stamping, etc. So there are a lot of ways in which you can give that textured look without adding molds and things like that. And that is the whole challenge of this particular art journal for me, because I also tend to do a lot of layering, and with art journal I wanted to kind of challenge myself to do flat layouts but still make something interesting and play around with textures. So for the stickers, I'm using these Tim Holtz sticker books. Again, they'll be linked below. Now, these are my favorites for any mixed media projects. Like, I use them a lot in my ATCs as well as on my couple of cards and paintings. So that is what I'm using over here, depending on the character, and whatever my mood strikes. So I just pick one sentiment and I add it. So there is not a lot of logic behind it. So that completes my first beginner friendly art journal page. I hope you enjoyed. I will leave you with the close ups where you'll be able to see those layers that I was talking about, as well as those shine of the texture paste and the stenciling that we did, as well as some of the stamping that we did in our journal. I hope you are enjoying this new series. If you are, let me know in the comments. I will know what content to bring you next. And I'll see you in my next tutorial. Till then, guys, take care. Bye bye.